Room after that catch. Big gainer of 23.
Okay,
so they come to the line for first down and 10.
Ready. 10 black. Yellow.
In motion comes Lazard.
Ready.
Throwing now is Rattler. The reception for Rashid Shaheed. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. Give them 17 more, and they are on a roll. Another first down. Looking to throw, Rattler. And it's a reception for Taysom Hill. And he'll be taken down, but we have a chance for the first points of this game as they've set up first and goal.
Having a tight end that can contribute in the passing game, Mike, I mean, it just seems like it's become more and more common throughout the entire league. And not only do you have to be reliable, but you have to be athletic enough after the catch to take advantage of some of these targets. So it's exactly what he does here, and you can tell why he's such a big part of this offense.
And this one, blown up. Good surge. Drop him. A loss on the play. Back to the 9-yard line.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal.
Now from the 9, it'll be second and goal.
Here we go, set.
In motion is Hill.
Ready.
On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. Hit as he throws and is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be third down.
Down. Red 38.
Shaheed in motion.
Fly blue.
Throwing here on third and goal. He pulls it in around the 5.
So often down here in these goal-to-go situations, so much of the emphasis is placed on taking away the wide receivers and the tight end targets in the end zone. It's not so easy bringing these backs down on the check down, so give a lot of credit to this defense, rallying to the ball and keeping them short of the end zone.
Want to finish this opening drive with 6, so the decision is go for it on 4th and goal. So now the Saints will use the first of their 3 timeouts. Here's Blake Groupie for the Saints, a field goal try. This, about as short as you can get. Groupie's kick is good. And the Saints are out to an early 3-0 lead.
A lot of times as an offensive player, you come off the field, you're not thrilled to end a drive like this with a field goal. But I think in this case, you can label it a success. You were able to operate your offense. You were able to quiet this crowd just a little bit and come away with an early lead.
He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Now the first carry for Chuba Hubbard. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Ball on the 30 now. Here's second and 8.
Let's go. 60 red. 60 seconds.
From the gun, it's Young. Going for it all. And the ball out of the reach of the receiver. Ball's incomplete. Teteroa McMillan was the intended receiver. And third down coming up.
50, green.
Out of the shotgun. Young. And this is caught on the sideline. Going to have the first down. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. They say the feet were out of bounds. Wow. Big, tight call there. For the moment, it'll be fourth down.
Black shot. Here we go. Here we go. Cut, cut.
They'll go. Young. He's got his man. Right side. It's complete. And he's going to have a Panthers first down. They pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. The gain is 18.
First down.
Ready.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Throwing is Young. Secured by the veteran, Adam Thielen. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Young hands it to Hubbard. And he's going to struggle to get back to the line. Maybe a yard with Justin Reed up from the safety spot to make the stop. From the 33, here's second and 8.
Ready?
To throw, Young. Back to the left side, hauled in by Leggett. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, inside the 20. That's the second time they connect on this drive. This one good for 13 yards.
They do a really nice job of picking up the pressure, and that's what allows him to have the time to go through his entire progression. He sees his check down wide open, gets the ball into his hands, and he does the rest.
They go back to Leggett. He's got another one. And they're in business now. He is out of bounds inside the 10. This opening drive, it has been a work of art. Now, can they put the finishing touches on? It's first and goal. He's got it at the 3. And he's going to be down close to the goal line. Good job defensively to make sure he did not get to the end zone. From the 1, second and goal.
The Saints 1-yard line.
Here we go. Set.
To throw is Young. A throw there on second down, going to be incomplete.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Down. Striker. 333. Yellow. Ready?
From the gun here on third down, it's Young. And that is incomplete.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring fourth down right in the face.
So a field goal here would tie the game. If the kicking unit stays on the sideline, they're going to go for it on fourth down. That is incomplete. The defense coming up big in the red zone. It's a turnover on down.
These are the situations where, as an offense, you're trying to dial up your best play call to make sure this possession doesn't get wasted. But let's give credit to the defense. Big moment, big fourth down opportunity, and they're able to get off the field.
Ready?
3 tight ends in the game to start the drive.
Let's go.
Akers. And he's able to fight through one tackle here. Pick up about 3. Second down coming up.
So these might throw the body blow runs. They're not big gains. They're nothing fancy. But they really set that physical tone for the rest of the game where now a good play caller can use some of these early runs to set up something a little bit bigger down the road.
Ready. Black. 95. White. 6. Mega. Shoot. Yellow. Cut.
Here's Rattler. Try bit in the slack, and it was intercepted. Picked off by Christian Rosebud.
And Mike, as bad as things seem, especially after that last play, the key to playing quarterback in this league, if you're going to allow bad plays to lead to more bad plays, you're not going to last very long. So it's the value of, hey, can you win the next play? And then the play after that. Those are the guys that can really make it in this league, and we're going to get a good test of it right here.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Terrific return. He's taken down just shy of midfield.
Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Red, slide through.
In motion comes Lazard. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. He gets that one to the veteran Lazard. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 46.
1 quarter in the books. 7-3 is our score. And we'll return to Charlotte in a moment. It's the Saints with the football here as quarter 2 begins. They have it 2nd and 4 coming up.
Ready. Set, ready. Yellow, dog red. Set.
Throwing is Rattler. That's into the hands of Akers. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
It's really just an extended handoff. Get the ball out wide to your running back in space and make the defense tackle him. That's really all this is. Something small turns into a nice pickup.
Rattler now back to throw. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not it.
That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Simmons.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now, Mike. Has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
Come on, set. 50, green. Ready?
On the give, it's Hubbard. Well, he shows you the elusiveness getting out of one tackle, but not the other. Fortunate, really, to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Here we go, set. 10 black. Set, go.
To throw is Young. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
The pressure gets there, and down he goes.
This offensive line has to do a better job, Mike, of communicating the protection pre-snap, especially on these key 3rd downs. The blitz overwhelms them from the jump, and now they're picking their quarterback off the ground.
To return, it's Shaheed. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
motion, it's Shuck. Flush to his left. He's going to tuck it and go.
You have to admire when quarterbacks are willing to put their head down and fight for some extra yardage, Mike. Sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Get down, protect yourself, live to play another snap.
On second down, it's Shuck. I had a defender draped all over him, incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
Now Shuck on third down. And this one complete on the sideline. Good footwork to stay in bounds, but he is just shy of the first down. And that brings up fourth down.
Now listen, I'm going to give the guy credit. It was a really nice catch, keeping his feet in bounds along the sidelines. It just doesn't amount to much in the grand scheme of things.
It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on fourth down. They'll go, and here's Shuck. That's taken in, and he is going to have the Saints first down as they wind up getting 13 on fourth down.
13 yards. First down, Saints.
Here's Akers. He'll burrow his way forward for a couple. Isaiah Simmons comes up to end that one.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
Throwing on second down, Shuck. Shaheed with the catch. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. 7-3 is the score. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Here's a third down and 4. From the gun, it's Shuck. Here, a short one to Taysom Hill. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively. And now, decision time. What are you going to do on fourth down?
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem. And that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks.
No move for the field goal unit. They're going to line up and go for it on fourth down. They're on him in a flash, and he lost the football. The Panthers have it. Inside the 30. And he's going to bring this one back. They force the fumble, and it leads to a defensive score. Greg, what a terrible play for the offense. You're trying to gain some momentum. Here you not only lose the handle of the ball, you hand the defense 6 points.
And Mike, how often do we see that when a player loses the ball, his confidence is not far behind? And I think in this case, that's where the coaching comes in. Put your arm around him. Hey, we're giving you the ball in this next possession. We believe in you. They've got to get this player back into the flow of the game after that back-breaking turnover that led to the defensive touchdown.
He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Following the kickoff, we have an injured player on the field. Halftime is looming, so the athletic training staff will get a chance to look him over during the break. On first down, Shuck. That's out to the flat, and he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. Unfortunately, this is going to get out of bounds, so possession does not change hands. A sigh of relief there. That was very nearly a turnover. Fortunate to see that one, Greg, get fumbled out of bounds.
And when that ball came loose, Mike, you could see the entire sideline kind of holds their breath. But they were able to take a little bit of an exhale as they saw that ball, fortunately for them, go out of bounds.
Running is Akers. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
Not a great start by this running back here in the first half, Mike. He had a fumble earlier. Now he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to get more out of this run game as the rest of this game moves along.
On the ground, it's Akers. And it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Let's wait for the mark. Yes, that run, that's enough to move the chain.
Actually, a really nice play there defensively, Mike. And initially, I thought that penetration was going to bring him down in the backfield and bring up fourth down. But somehow, nice job by the back, angling his way forward. I think he's going to get this first down by about the length of the football.
A good spot here, second and a yard. Operating out of the gun, this is Shuck. Pushed out to his right. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And he's out of bounds down inside the 35. That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
Just a really nice, simple play design. Just get the ball to one of your playmakers on an underneath crossing route, and he does the rest to secure a nice gain. That's just good, simple execution.
Here is Shuck on 1st and 10. Taysom Hill working free downfield. And he'll take this one in. Taysom Hill. Touchdown, New Orleans. For Tyler Shuck, keep that football. That's his first career touchdown pass in the NFL. Blake Grupe comes on for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Saints are back within 4. It is 14 to 10. Four seconds still to be played in this half as that one's away. This is Jimmy Horn Jr. on the return. They'll go with the reverse. And he's going to be taken down. That is going to do it for us in this first half. Third quarter set to commence. And we're back underway here on EA Sports. And no return here. This is a touchback. From the 35, it's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Yellow, 22. Ready?
Out of the shotgun, Young. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver knew what was going on. That's incomplete. The pass intended for Xavier Legette. And it'll bring up second down. From the gun, it's Young. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
Tries to get that one down the field, but it is incomplete.
I like the fact that they took a shot on 3rd and long, right? A lot of offenses in that situation would be a little bit more conservative playing for the 4th down punt. They're trying to pick up a big chunk play through the air, but now that you can't connect, it all but guarantees you got to put this ball away as it brings up 4th and mile.
And it'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there.
42-yard line.
They'll go play action here with Chuck. Moving to his right. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive. Looking to throw on 1st down. Here's Shuck. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
Chuck to throw on 2nd down. He'll dump this down to Akers. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 on that one. 1st down, New Orleans.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
This pass right side taken in by Cook. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 that sets up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 17-yard line.
The air once more. Shot. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. They might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
3rd down, and here is Shuck. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And he's going to be taken down short of the marker. That is going to set up an interesting 4th down decision.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the 1st down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Throwing again, Shuck. And he's not going anywhere. Stuffed behind the line. They have turned it over on down.
Well, that was a disaster. I like the call. I like going for it on 4th down. Give your offense a chance to extend this drive and maintain possession, but after going the wrong way, now they're going to have to watch the other team take over after failing to move the chains.
Yellow, 22, punt.
On 1st down is Young. To the right side and corralled by Thielen. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Here's 2nd and 6.
At the 18-yard line.
Come on, set. Cut.
Here's Young. The throw. Crushed. It's incomplete. He did get the pass off, but he got drilled before he let it go.
Really can't afford to go 3 and out here, Mike. I know you got the lead, but it's not insurmountable by any means, especially after they just scored their last time out. So they've got to dial up their best 3rd down protection, best 3rd down play, whatever it is. by any means necessary. They've got to keep this drive alive.
And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback. Get into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch. It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
From the 31, here's second down and 6.
Here we go, set. 33, cut.
Now Young. The set the screen here to Hubbard. This one gets sniffed out, blown up in the backfield.
The best defenders can just sense when a screen is coming. They can tell the body language of the offensive lineman's pass set. They can tell on the drop of the quarterback. It just doesn't look right. It's exactly the case here. Great job getting to the back and taking him down for a loss.
From the gun here on third down, it's Young. And that is incomplete.
Little miscommunication there. Now brings up third down. It just doesn't appear that the quarterback and the wide receiver were on the same page on that last pass.
On now is the punt team for the Panthers. This one, fielded, just beyond the 25. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Now, following the punt return, we have an injured player on the field. They'll start this one on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
They'll try again here. Second and 10. They'll go again here with Kamara. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
These negative runs, they just make everything for the play caller that much more difficult, Mike. So they've got to find a way to be more efficient on these early downs, meaning first and second down, because if not, you find yourself the entire game in third and pass, and that's what every single defense in the league is trying to do.
Third and long. That's the Pro Bowl corner, J.C. Horn. Take it all the way in, but that is a great return, and they are set up first and goal.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception, but boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
And that one going to be closed down in the backfield. Great defensive play. Knifing it and dropping him for a loss.
Brings up second and goal at the Saints' 12-yard line.
So it'll be second and goal when we return. We are through 3. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
Here now, second down and goal.
Ready.
Here's Young. A throw there. Caught by Lee Guest. That's going to move him closer, but they're going to need to come up with something here. Here comes third and goal.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route. And then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
So here is Matthew Wright on now in a big spot. This to stretch the lead to a touchdown.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Now the return man is a bit slow getting up after that kick. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. On play action, it's Shuck. His pass taken in by Shaheed. And he's out of bounds on the pass play, but that's good for 8 yards.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's Shuck. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. And that defender's bearing down. You really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch.
Oh, he tried to throw it back across his body, but it's intercepted. That's the linebacker, Chris Barr.
Intercepted. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10.
Fight, 97. Okay, now.
Trying the left side, here's Hubbard. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down.
Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 7.
Here we go. Cut.
Back to throw. Young. Forced out to his right. Throw on the run is complete. And he'll get about 7. Still short of that 1st down. And they'll try to convert it on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Here's Young. He'll try to run for it. And he's going to be marked out down at the 5. They get 24 on that one. Just like that, it's 1st and goal. An opportunity for it to be a game-sealing touchdown right here. 1st down and goal. They'll run with Hubbard. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Chuba Hubbard. Touchdown, Panthers. That touchdown puts him in double digits. Now 10 rushing touchdowns on the season. Now Wright to add the extra point. The kick is good. And Panthers move out to a 24-10 lead.
Saints 10.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here comes the all-pro returner from last year, Rashid Shaheed. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. On 1st down, shot. This one is caught DeJuan Johnson. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
Throwing on second down, shot. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
And that is incomplete.
Well, here we find the best laid plans sometimes do go astray. Every offense, Mike, what do they tell us? We want to stay ahead of the chain. We want to stay on schedule. This was a third and very reasonable, incomplete on that third down try. Now brings up fourth and short.
Trailing late, they've got to go here. It's fourth down. They'll indeed go, and it is shut. Open man, right side, he's got it. And they're going to get the first down. They were forced to go for it, and it's going to work out for them.
This play is actually really well defended here, but I'll tell you, Mike, as you know, my philosophy is the tight end is always open, and this just supports my case.
The air again is shut. And for a third time today, he's intercepted. That's the linebacker, Chris Barr. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
For these young rookie quarterbacks, every snap in the NFL is an opportunity to have a lesson learned, and sometimes the lessons come a little bit harder than others. In this case, they kind of fool them with their blitz package. It's a little bit more complex at the NFL level than it is necessarily in college. And
he bought as much time as he could, but he will finally be taken down. Chase Young getting in there to drop him. It'll be a loss of 7 to start this drive. He'll drop to throw. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
He's lucky this one didn't go back the other way, Mike. He got away with just a bad decision, bad throw, and defensively, you get a chance to steal a possession for your offense. You got to capitalize and make those plays.
You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively.
Here we go.
It's third down. Out of the shotgun, Young. Carl Anderson. He's in to drop him for a sack, and that will bring up fourth down. And now the defense is going to take their first time out. Remember, they get an extra one built in with 2-minute warning coming up momentarily. Going to leave the offense out there for fourth and long.
Come on, set. 45.
They'll go. Young. And he's going to be hit and taken down. They got him with a big-time rush that leads to a turnover on down. This is first and 10. Operating out of the gun, this is Shuck. And he'll let it go deep for Johnson. And this will be incomplete. Here's second down. They'll drop to throw. This one caught by Lazard. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
A gain of 15. First down, New Orleans.
On 1st and 10, here's Shuck. A throw left side, but it's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Here once more, Shuck. Defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
He was looking for Brandon Cooks with that pass. And it's going to lead to a 4th down.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down. It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
The offense staying out there for this 4th down. They'll go, and here's Shuck. And that is incomplete. They had their chance, they took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Gotta let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on down.
Already know I got go. Money calling got to go. You gotta go if you play on your troll.
Let's go next.
Young to throw on 1st down. That's into the hands of Thornton. That'll be taken down, but it takes them across midfield down to the 40-yard line. That pickup good for 29 yards.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Right through. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Young. He'll let it go deep left sideline. And that ball out of reach toward the sideline. It'll be an incompletion. Dante Thornton was the intended target. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready, ready. Yellow, 22. Ready?
Back to the air, it's Young. And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
He finds McMillan downfield. It's caught. A pickup there of 25 yards. It's a Carolina 1st down.
Here we go. Red.
To throw is Young. That is caught. And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page. The quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. On the return, it's Rashid Shaheed. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. A little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good game.
So it's over. It's a win for the Panthers. They get the home victory here in the division in the first of their 2 scheduled matchups. A chance to go for the season sweep on the road later in the season. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers are winners, as we say so long from Uptown Charlotte.